Love is not about ownership. It's about wanting only the best for that individual. So when you're in love with someone, you want this person in your life. There is no two ways about it. You can't see yourself living with another person. Being in love is wanting to own a part of the other person. It's believing this person is so wonderful that you want him or her to be a part of your life, a part of you. Loving someone is deeming him or her worthy of owning a part of you. It's that deep. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Jane Lawrence and I come with a lot of juicy content. On today's episode, I just want to take out time to talk a little bit about love and attachment, what the differences is, because I feel like a lot of people just misunderstand or mix these two feelings. You know that we've often seen people fall in and out of love in a matter of days or even weeks or even months. And then we wonder to ourselves, how is it really possible that one can be in love with so many people in a short span of time? Now, even we may have felt strong emotional connection with a person and believed it to be love. But in all of these cases, mostly it was just emotional attachment with the other person that we tend to mistake for love. Almost all of us have been through this indecision as to whether it is love or just attachment we have with a person. So you need to understand that emotional attachment often grows onto becoming true love. That's for a fact. Though it is very difficult to distinguish between love and extreme emotional attachment. So here are a few things that may help you differentiate between love and attachment or emotional attachment. In love, a person becomes selfless. It's not about you, it's about your partner. And it's both ways. But when you are attached to a person, you remain self-centered. It's all about you. And you have to understand whether you have turned selfless for the person, for you to be able to figure out if it's actually love. Now, love is a very passionate feeling. It's a verb, it's an action word. Nothing is as passionate as love and hate. But attachment is simply apathetic. In attachment, you get irritated and anxious at the same time. But when you're in love, you never ever grow tired or bored of the person that you're with. Love is really an intense feeling. And it's really not easy to be in love. It's a life-changing process. While of course attachment becomes difficult only when you are physically apart. In the attachment, a person simply grows possessive of one another. You lack security here because love is freeing. Now, a relationship that thrives on love alone makes the persons in that relationship secure with one another, makes the person secure in their relationship. They completely trust one another when in love. Now, of course, there are misunderstandings, but they resolve it with maturity. Love is not simply forgotten. In the attachment, one wants to have full control of the other person's life. It's all about having the power to control another person. Love is, on the other hand, empowering. You embrace the person with all of their flaws in love. So two persons are bound to fall out of the settlement if, the relationship is based only on attachment. Love is a timeless feeling. In love, there is no scope of not having another chance. There's got to be another chance if you truly love one another. Life becomes hefty to live without the other person's presence in your life. So being in love with someone and loving that person are two different things entirely. Understanding the difference and being able to apply the knowledge to your own relationship is key to building a lasting relationship. So here are a few differences between being in love and loving that I wish I knew a decade sooner. All right. So when you're in love with someone, you want this person in your life. There is no two ways about it. You can't see yourself living with another person. Being in love is wanting to own a part of the other person. It's believing this person is so wonderful that you want him or her to be a part of your life, a part of you. So when you fall in love with a person, you feel an intense urge to consume that person in any way possible that you can. Being in love is believing you need someone in order to be happy, but they're not your full happiness. So when you love someone, you need this person in your life. You don't just want, or rather, you don't only want, You need him or her in your life. You're incomplete without them. You need this person to live a happy and healthy life because you literally depend on it. You need him or her to be a part of your life in some way or another. Not because you want to own a piece of this person, but because you want to give him or her a piece of yourself. So loving someone is deeming him or her worthy of owning a part of you. It's that deep, all right? You can't say you love someone and you don't want to give them the whole or part of your life. It's not possible. Love is not about ownership. It's about wanting only the best for that individual. Sometimes it often means letting that love go. Even if it doesn't suit your purpose, it means letting it go, regardless. And when you let it go, you're not hating them. Because if you let them go and you hate them, it means you never really loved them. You want to see good. You want to see them do good, regardless whether you are in separation or you're not talking or you've broken up or anything like that. You love them enough to see them excel in their endeavor because you love this person. All right. It wasn't fake, because if, regardless of their disposition to you or to your love or to whatever you intend to bring to the table, you still do not hate them for rejecting you or for not accepting the love that you bring. You still love them regardless. All right. It would be fake if they rejected you and you hate them. You can't say you love someone and because they did something to you, it automatically changes to hate. So love is really deep. Love gives you chances. So when you're in love with someone, your emotions are always on high. Your brain is producing the most amazing chemical cocktail. The serotonin, the dopamine, you know what I mean? Making you feel as if you were floating atop of a cloud. You get high just by being in love with this person. And it's a sort of high you never want to let go of. No one wants to come down from such a high. I mean, like, this is where the problem lies. You inevitably do come down afterwards when reality hits you. So when you love someone, your emotion settles and then fluctuates. Loving someone isn't as much about the emotions as it is about the thoughts. So thinking about someone, wishing the best for that person, doing the best to make him or her happy, and, well, caring for that person just as much, if not more than yourself. That's what love is. The emotions that come with it are just the perks. So once you have passed that stage of simply being in love with someone to actually loving him or her, you have to learn to let go of the constant high and to ride the less frequent waves as they come. They always come. They just aren't the in love emotion state that only falling in love allows. So when you're in love with someone, you're aiming to reach some goals. That's what makes falling in love so exciting. The constant yearning for more. You want to spend more time with this person. You want to get to know him or her better. You want to be with this person as much as possible. You want to communicate with them. You always want to have more and want to build a greater and more serious relationship with them. You want to spend the rest of your day with them. You want to communicate with them. So when you love someone, you aren't rushing to reach the finish line. You aren't rushing to have sex with this person. Oftentimes when you rush into sex in a relationship, it's lost half the time, except you are capable of controlling your emotions every time you get to see this person. Now, the fact is, when you reach that finish line, the goal that being in love calls for no longer exists, but only because it's already been reached. And this often scares people because they begin to feel a need to continue making progress. Unfortunately, everything in the universe is, finite. You can't make progress and continue building something greater forever. The only thing that you can eventually do is keep reinforcing what you already have. So being in love is not only understanding that what you have is all you need, but wanting to strengthen the bond indefinitely is all that matters. So when you're in love with someone, you think you care more about that person more than you actually do. Okay? So falling in love is much, much easier than loving. When you're in love, the chemicals in your brain and body makes you feel as if the person is the greatest person in this world. You don't see any other person apart from this one. You believe this person to be the most amazing specimen that you've ever encountered. Sadly, this way of thinking usually wears off at some point in time. As soon as the feel-good chemicals wear off, then you're left lost and confused. So when you love someone, you care about that person more than you think. Being in love is easily recognizable, as it makes you feel a constant yearning, a constant need to love, to be in that presence, to be loved as well. Loving, on the other hand, doesn't give you such constant reminders. However, life always, manages to give us those reminders. Sometimes life will often keep people away from us. It will harm those in our lives, and sometimes it will take them from us entirely. So, but when you truly love someone, such moments of separation and loss overwhelms you with so much emotion. And people often forget how much they love a person, or they fail to realize how much they love them until life forces them to remember. And that could come from separation, that could come from a loss, So when you're in love with someone, you can fall out of love with that person. It's a fact. What goes up surely must come down. So in a case of falling in love, what comes down often crawls back up. If you can fall in love with a person, then you know that you can just as much fall easily out of love with that person. So being in love and romantic altogether is mostly a result of our mind's creation. We make, or we allow ourselves to fall in love by romanticizing that individual as well as the relationship. Do you get what I'm saying? So when you're in love, reality doesn't always line up with your version of it. Reality is sort of skewed, for lack of a better way to explain it. You rarely see their flaws, and you're ready to overlook their flags just to have them with you, which is quite dangerous, especially when you know that you're dealing with a narcissist. So when you love someone, you never really stop loving that someone. Loving a person is something that defines you. It defines the person that you are. Those we love, those we care about the most, those who mean the most to us and who have affected us in, some ways of our lives, are those who never really leave us. They may remove themselves or be removed from our lives, but they never leave our minds. Their memories, the thought of them makes us feel strong emotions. Their presence in our lives has had such an incredible, influence on us that because of them, we're different people. So when you love someone, you can't stop loving that person, because it will require you to stop loving a part of you yourself. You can leave a relationship that never really served you, but you still love that person regardless, because they meant something to you. It would never have been love in the first place if after a breakup or a separation, your feelings for them died instantly. Then you were basically infatuated, because real love never dies, even when there is a split. It's always there. Sometimes most people just don't know what they have until they lose it. You have to cherish the love, the highs that you have, and also get ready, get prepared for the lows, because the lows are bound to show up. The lows are bound to show up. The times where you see this person and you're like, who the hell did I even get married to? Why did I even get married to this person? What do I even see in this person that makes me like them? Sometimes for me, I love a person and I don't know why I love this person.